So this finally turned up in the mail the other day. My Street Guardian SG9665GC version 3 with a 64GB micro SD card. Okay, so let's open these up and see what they look like inside. So first of all, we'll just have a quick look at the Hardwire kit quickly. Alrighty, so this is to hardwire it into the vehicle so it's not using the cigarette lighter, and you're going to need a fuse tap to do it. So this is a fuse tap, and you'll need this to be able to tap a fuse in your car so you can connect the cell power and have it hardwired into your vehicle. Let's see what's inside the box. I got a little bit damaged in shipping here, but it's only superficial on the outside, so I'm not too worried about the contents being damaged. So let's have a look. Oh, there's the sticker. Yep. Okay, so I purchased this from Dashcam Owners Australia. Okay, so we get a nice bag. Who knows what the purpose of that is? Maybe for carrying your camera out of your vehicle when you're not in it. Looks like we have our sepia lens, which is nice little addition. Think of it like a polarizing effect on your sunglasses. And the unit itself, which I must admit, it's a lot smaller than I thought, but that's good. So there we go, that's the unit there. Let's see what else we've got. We have a little micro SD adapter that will help us if we're plugging it into a notebook or a computer card reader. We have a quick start guide, which is pretty thick to be honest with you, but there are many languages in there, so it's really not that thick, but good to have. Alright, wow, look at all the goodies in there. I can only imagine what all this is. What have we got? Looks like there's loads of 3M stickers in there, and that little bit of strings for removal. There's a little screw in there as well, don't know if you can see that. I believe that's for the tying down the cable routing management system that they include in here, but let's have a look. Again, more adhesives from 3M. They're very generous, which is nice. Some cleaning wipes, so you can mount it to your windscreen, a clean windscreen. We have a groovy little SD and micro SD to micro USB and standard USB adapter. Now that is very handy. There's the cable management adapter, and the screw would go in right where my thumb is. You can see a little hole. And that's that screw that I showed you earlier in there. So that's cool. Wondering what it looks like? It sort of would look something like this when it's on your windscreen. And it just tidies up those cables. Obviously that's where the roof headliner sits. Rear vision mirror sits on either side of it, and there you go, you've got this nice clean look without any of the cable all over the place. Comes with a pry tool. And this is really handy. You can sort of pry open the A-pillar covers and whatnot, get what you need to for the cable routing. More adapters attached to the windscreen. There's a thick one and a thin one. I think that has a lot to do with the angle of your windscreen. And here we also have the GPS unit, the externally mounted GPS unit. It's your choice whether you actually connect that or not. We've got a lot of clips for cable routing, cable management. That's nice. And oops, I've got something else in here. I'd say that is an auxiliary extension lead plating on it. Last but not least, we have the cigarette charger for simply sticking it into your cigarette lighter charger, and that will give you, a simple operation of the unit. Anyone can do that, but it's very untidy. You occupy that charging port, and I much prefer to hardwire it, so hence why I've purchased their cell power hardwire kit as well. And as I said, I'm putting this into my BF Falcon shortly, and I'll show you how to hardwire this in. So to get our Street Guardian hardwired to my car, I need to get out the manual. So there's the manual for my car. I own a BF Falcon Mark II. The fuse that I'm going to tap into, just let me bring that up in the manual. I'll explain a little bit about how all this works. Right, so that image just there is the engine bay fuse box and relay system. We're not tapping into the engine bay fuse and relay box, we're actually tapping into the one that's in the car, which is the instrument panel fuse and relay box. So to give you a bit of an idea, there's a little diagram that Ford put. And well, I want the one in the car, the instrument panel fuse box. We can see here we've got fuse column, so the numbers of the in the box itself, the amperage of each fuse, the colour, the circuits that it protects, and the type. And the type is important. Well, it's all important, but the cell power hardwire kit doesn't really lend itself well to being used in parking mode. So I'm not using it in parking mode. I just want it to turn on with the engine and off with the engine. So I need to pick a fuse or tap a fuse that's going to allow me to do that. So if I turn back one page, so I don't want to do battery because that means it's always on. And I don't want my camera always on, it will flatten my battery. I don't want to use accessory, although I did find an accessory one here that I was going to use in area 14, and it was a blue 15 amp fuse for the mobile phone, and it was in an accessory port. But I've done some testing and that's not going to work, so I've decided to go with fuse 9, which is where fitted the 6-speed automatic transmission, and it's an ignition type of fuse, which basically means when you fully turn the key, it will stay on. The Street Guardian dash cam will stay on, and when I turn the engine off, basically it will turn off as well. So I tapped that one and it worked very, very well. So this is a tap from Nava, and it comes with a couple of fuses, a 5 amp and a 10 amp fuse, which basically means I can put them in there or use them as spares or whatever. But more importantly, this one has a combined max amperage rating of 20 amps. So you don't want to be putting in these two slots a 10 or a 15, which is a total of 25. You could damage your car wiring and electrical systems. Don't do that. So you need to make sure that whatever you plug in here, whatever fuses you plug into the tap here, maximum goes to 20. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. So that's the tap. The tap will go on the red one. Round will go on the black one. And when I've got all this hard soldered and hardwired, I'll take it down to the vehicle and I'll show you where it all goes. Of course you're going to need a soldering iron. I've got one over there. Alright, so let's make a start. So after all said and done, I managed to get the tap sorted out. So there's the tap on the hardwire kit. There, the cell power. So I've got a grounding there. I didn't want to use electrical tape, but in the end I had to because my heat shrink tubing was just not big enough in diameter to fit over the crimps of the add-in fuse and also the Y terminator. But doesn't matter. They're all soldered in there, so they're all good. Now I've just got to go and fit it into the vehicle. So that's what I'll do next. So here's where we're going to tap the fuse in the car to put in the dash cam. And I've put it in my tap here, along with the 5. and that'll go right in there like that. Now all I've got to do, if I can get the camera in there, is ground it off on that up there. So I'll do that in just a moment. Sorry for the poor angle. So I'm just loosening off that bolt so I can stick in my Y terminator and ground off the fuse tab. So I'm just cable tying that off, and I'm going to pop it up in that recess up there, and hopefully it doesn't rattle too much when we're driving, but it fits up there perfectly, which is great. So I've got the USB in there, which I need to run up through the A-pillar and across the headliner to the middle of the car. So I'm just looking at the best way to do that. So fortunately for me, in the BF there's a little gap here that you can put the cord up through. So I've actually got it. Up there quite a bit. So I'm just going to keep feeding the cable in behind the rubber seal and go all the way up to the A-pillar, and that's just going in there easily, and it's not sticking out either, so it's still flush and nice and flat, so it's sitting in a recess in there somewhere, which is fantastic. It's exactly what I want. Right, so now I'm at the A-pillar. So before we go any further, now would be a good time to test. As you can see, we're working. Turn it off, and it'll power down. Accessory mode, nothing. Second turn, we get the power going. Start. There we go. Working. Beautiful. So I just wanted to show you with the A-pillar off. So you need to take this rubber mount out, and then you just grab the A-pillar from the top. Just grab the A-pillar from up here once you've taken the rubber seal off, and just pull it, and it's a couple of clips. You can see the holes where the clips go. One there and one there, and there they are on the inside of the A-pillar. So once you've done that, it's a matter of just taking your cable, routing it up here and up through the headliner, and eventually we'll get up behind the mirror. So we'll continue on. I fed it up through the back of the windscreen above the headliner here, up in this gap, and the little tool that you get with the Street Guardian proved to be very helpful in just sort of getting the cable up there. Now I've got this little bit hanging here, and I can pull it either way if I need some slack or I need to take up slack. So across the top of the headliner and out here at the A-pillar, you can see I've got a ton of spare length here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it up and stick it upside there in the headliner. There's tons of room up there. It's a perfect place for it. You're best getting your slack and putting it up in the headliner than trying to do it up under there somewhere. It's much easier to do it up in the headliner as there's tons of room up under it. And there you go, installed. There's a little bit of plastic on there that I can take off, but I'm just going to start up and see how we go. working beautifully. Now, just to adjust the camera. Perfect. Excellent. And now power off. And the camera should turn off. And it does. Beautiful. There you go. That's how you install a streak out here. Well, 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 let's see how it goes. I know I've got it too close to the rear vision mirror here because I can see the black just on the right hand side of the screen. So I'll have to reposition that, which is unfortunate. Alright, the music's up pretty loud. Let's see how it goes.
This is Hamish and Andy. 10 years in 10 weeks.
Friday, August 15th.
Come on, Ham. Put out the cat. 1-0 up, and Hamish is about to place yak penis in his...
Or yes. Someone has said to their boss, I ate a whole packet of those little mini dried chilies.
Right.
And needs a sick day off.
Okay.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Alrighty, let's go through the lights. It's pretty overcast, it's drizzling rain as you can see. I've got the windshield wipers on. Got the music on. Got a coffee. That's the most important bit. Alright, this should be a good transition. From light to dark. Well, there's some fluoro lights on under here, unfortunately. But it's certainly darker than outside. Which was an overcast sort of an afternoon. Bit drizzly rain. Alrighty.